try a little activity, okay? I found this in a newspaper. Let me see if I can you read that? It says,
Yes.
Make a new start in 2022. Now, Marina, nothing occurs to you of this kind, I don't think. So let's see if we can find, it doesn't have to be mega, it could be something quite small. So let me give you some ideas. When I read this supplement, it was about people who were doing something new, okay? And there were a list of different activities that people had tried for the first time. Things like knitting, learning Polish, playing the violin, that's quite a big one. Virtual aviation, horse riding. I'm asking Marina, see if any of these appeal to you. Running a local litter picking group, doing the crawl, Chinese calligraphy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a list of questions, and I'd like you just to take notes. Don't write the whole question. Each question is going to start, if you were to do X, Y, or Z, what would it be? Okay. Here are some possibilities for possible goals. Okay. Doing something new, but not necessarily very big, could be something quite small. So for example, and see if any of these appeal to you, Marina. If you were to prepare a new dish, what would it be? So all you need to write down is prepare dish, okay? If you were to read a new author or a new genre of reading, what would it be? Do you remember when Rini was giving a session, those of you who went to her session, she talked about the value of just doing something new sometimes, breaking habits, doing something different. If you were to go to a new place, where would it be? A new country? A new cafe, maybe? Do you go to the same cafe all the time? A new town? A new tourist spot? So a new place in whatever you decide is a place, okay? If you were to listen to a new kind of music, what would it be? If you were to wear a different color that you don't normally wear, what would it be? For me, it would probably be something like orange. I never wear orange. If you were to learn a new dance, what would it be? If you were to learn a new language, what would it be? If you were to take up a new hobby, what would it be? If you were to look up an old friend who you hadn't seen for years, who would it be? Okay, so there may be some possibilities of smaller things that you could do differently and which could be an objective, okay? Doesn't have to be big, big, big. Can be quite tiny. Any of those appeal to any of you? Just by the by. You're nodding, Marina, which one?
Well, many.
Oh, good, good.
Actually, I've already started some of these, such as I've started reading a new author.
Oh, good. Who's that?
Well, my Italian friends will have heard the name, which is quite unusual. She's a journalist, and Lily Gruber. And I don't know if I don't want to steal time, but when I was on holiday, I visited a particular area of Italy in the north on the border with Austria, where, you know, over the centuries, the relationship with Italy have been difficult. and she writes about it.
She writes
because
about that area. Okay.
She was born there, and it's such a fascinating story that I am very interested in history. So I have started, and I have already bought 2 of her books, and I am reading one with great pleasure. Yeah, I would like it to
so
there
are
dance
some
a
things that
tango.
you do, which is great. Okay. What I'd like to do, thank you for that, Marina. I've recently taken to reading, is it Elena Ferrante?
Elena Ferrante.
You've probably all read Elena Ferrante, but she was new to me too. Okay, what I'd like to do, we've talked a lot about visualization in every session that I've given with you, from the one last year to the one in February. And I'd like to do a little bit now on using guided visualization. Do any of you actually use guided visualization, either with your students or on yourself? Do any of you do that? Just raise your hand or nod. Yeah.
I used to. I don't teach anymore.
No, but you can use it for yourself. You don't have to use it.
No, I used with the students after my course with you.
Good, great. I'll tell you what I'd like to do with you. I would like to do, while we've still got a fair amount of time left, I'd like to do a guided visualization with you, okay? You actually have a copy of this in the materials that was sent out after the first session. So you should all have a copy. If I'm doing it, Maria Antonietta.
Yes.
No, that's
Tell
okay.
me.
Yeah. Okay. So if you've got the copy there and you want to look at it, please do. If you don't have it there, you've got it somewhere. I'm going to do it with you and just let you experience it. While I'm doing it, I'd like you, at the same time as just enjoying it and experiencing it, can you also begin to notice what is special about the language I'm using? And what is special about the way that I'm delivering it? Okay, so you're looking at this on several levels. You're not just experiencing it, but you're also beginning to analyze what's going on, okay? And afterwards, I'll ask you a little bit about it. Let me find it first. Okay. I'm not going to do, it's called Climbing a Hill Visualization, and you have it in the materials somewhere. So if you can find it at some stage. I'm not going to do it exactly as it is here, but I'll more or less do it, okay? So just think for a moment. And when you're ready, close your eyes and just focus on your breathing. Just notice how you're breathing in and breathing out. And just allow your body to relax a little. And focus on the breathing in and out. And you might like to imagine that you're going to climb a hill, and we're going to climb it together. It can be a steep hill, or it can be a gentle hill. It can be snowy, or rainy, or sunny. And if you're feeling really energetic, it could even be a mountain. It's up to you. It's your journey, and I'll be guiding you. And as you set off full of energy, full of hope, full of expectation. You might like to think about something that you want to achieve in your life right now. Remember that the longest journey always begins with a single step. And as you walk, have an image in your mind what it will be like when you get to the top. What will you see? What will you hear? What will you feel? And as you walk, look around you and enjoy what you can see, the colors, the shapes, the textures. What sounds can you hear? Maybe there's just silence. Enjoy feeling a sense of purpose and expectation. You can do this. Trust that feeling. As you walk, it's getting a bit steeper, but it's getting easier too because you're moving closer to your destination. And you might want to stop just for a moment and look back and see how far you've come. And now turn back and go on walking up and up. It's getting even steeper now and you may be tiring. Remember that we often feel most exhausted when we're actually very close to success. Inexperienced walkers or climbers often turn back at this point. But experienced hikers or climbers know that this is the moment to keep going. You are so very close to the top. Imagine again what it will be like when you get there. See it, hear it, and feel it. And walk up and up and up until finally you've made it. You're at the top. Look around you far and wide and delight in everything you see. Listen to the sounds or the silence. Feel a sense of exhilaration and achievement. And you might like to allow a word or picture to come into your mind that somehow symbolizes and encapsulates this moment, this sense of success. And know that when you recall that word or picture, it will bring everything back to you. Just enjoy it for a moment longer. And then focus once more on your breathing. And slowly, in your own time, whenever you're ready, take a few deeper breaths and gently open your eyes and stretch and come back to the session, back to the here and now. Take all the time you need to come gently back. Okay, how was your walk? Did you enjoy your walk?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of an experience did you have? Did any of you choose a mountain? Did you go up a hill? What
Hill.
kind of a hill? You went up a hill.
Hill.
Say something about your journey.
I see my mother that was near me, and I take her hand, and I feel safer.
Oh, how lovely. And she walked with you.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you reached the top together.
Yes, the top of the hill.
Yeah, that sounds very emotional.
Yes, very emotional. Maybe I need her comfort, her help, maybe.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay.
That's Anna Maria. Yes.
Yes, Anna Maria.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna Maria, for sharing that.
Okay. Thank you too.
Does anybody else want to share their experience at all? You don't have to. I think with sometimes with all of these things, and it's a bit like Marina was saying earlier, some things are very personal and we don't always want to share. So I'm very glad, Anna Maria, that you did. That was very courageous of you. Thank you.
I'm very, very courageous, but I feel this.
Yeah, no, you obviously did. That was nice.
I love also sharing with you because I feel comfortable with you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great. That's a very big compliment. Does anybody else want to share? And again, you don't have to. I think if we're using any of these ideas with students or with anybody, we need to be careful not to oblige people to share everything because
Yes.
they don't necessarily want to do that. It's a very personal thing. And I think that needs to be very clear to people at the beginning. So moving away from the actual, Maria
Okay.
Antonietta.
So,
Just
it's me that I would like to say something.
Anna.
I like climbing the mountains. I like walking in the mountains. And so I don't know if I imagined or if I saw something that I have really lived, and sometimes still I'm still living. I'm still experiencing.
So are you saying you were running through a real experience that you've had?
Yeah.
Great. You were reliving it.
It was difficult for me to imagine because, but I didn't want to imagine because I wanted to remember.
Okay.
It was an occasion for me to remember something and also to relive.
I think that's probably true anyway. In a sense, our imagining something is full of, we can only imagine what we have experienced in a sense. So we are bound to use bits and pieces of memory to recreate a new imagination. But it's all things that we have known before very often anyway.
Yeah, and so I thought to a mountain with a lot of snow that I really experienced it in Switzerland. It is called Mount Corvash, if I remember well. And it was my first experience in the mountains. And the images of that mountain came back on my imagination for at least 1 year, I think. It was so strong, the emotions that I felt. So I remembered about that. And another other images were about a mountain from which I could see the sea. So
lovely.
two opposite situations, two opposite situations.
Lovely. And you put them together.
Yeah. And anyway,
I think
that
that's what I would call that creativity. You know, we
Yeah.
use bits and pieces of different elements in our life and we put them together and create something new.
Yeah, and anyway, the sensation, the feelings was of peace and happiness.
Lovely.
Yes,
Well-
sweet happiness.
Thank you for that, Anna. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you for the seminar. That is great, great, great.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this visualization. Did you manage, all of you, to come up with a word or picture to help to give you a shortcut back to the experience? If you could just use one word to symbolize this experience, did you manage to think of one? Let me ask you then, you've talked about the actual content, the experience. Were you at the same time listening to the kind of language I was using? What did you notice? Because I'm going to suggest to you that sometimes, perhaps, you might want to create your own guided visualizations. And if you do that, there are certain guidelines to follow. So did you notice anything special about the language I was using as I read you the guided visualization?
The use of conditioner, or
And what do you mean by condition?
uh,
You mean if phrase?
if you want, if you have had the possibility to, I don't know, to learn a new hobby, what would it be?
Oh, okay, that was the last.
I was just
activity.
just referring to the
That's
language.
referring to the last one, which I did, absolutely, that was conditional. What about the activity I've just done with you? What kind of language was I you? Do you want me to tell you?
Oh, yeah.
Getting late in the session. Shall I tell you?
I noticed a lot of language of the senses.
Yes. Fantastic. Well done. You get a point, Marina. 1 point.
Marina, fantastic.
Thank you.
Well done.
Now I have realized why my voice was not reaching you, because I had the mute.
Oh no!
I'm so
Well,
sorry.
it's nice
I
to
tried.
hear your voice now.
I tried to give you my idea, but I didn't manage anyway. Now I know why, because I had the mute on my my microphone. Yes, I want
so
to
easy to get wrong.
I really apologize for that, but I wanted to give my personal, how can I say, idea about the mountain. Since the mountain exists in my mind only in a vision, because for my health problems, I can't go on the mountains.
Well, that's why you may notice, Antonio, that I suggested a hill.
A hill.
Or a mountain. I gave you choice.
Sorry.
You missed the hill.
I missed your suggestion anyway, and apologize again. But what I wanted to say is that I have had this only in my imagination. And I have had a very beautiful fly over the mountains when I had my closed eyes, you know, with my eyes closed. And I went up to the hill or to the mountains, and I realized how the infinite world was around me. And I felt I am just a little thing in the immense universe. And I saw so many things around and so many voices around. And I also thought about a poem I read. I don't remember if Shelley or Keats, sweet melodies as heard the melodies are sweet, those unheard are even sweeter, you know. And with my mind and my imagination, with the dark of my eyes, because I couldn't just see in my mind without seeing in reality, I thought about how beautiful the world is around me.
Oh, how fun. And how lucky
and
you are.
at the same time, I I started sending you the message that I'm really sad, because we are living a moment of great sadness.
Terrible time.
Terrible. And I have no hesitation in saying that I'm crying. I've been crying many times.
I think that's true. Me too.
And I wonder, how can men do this to other men?
I know. And one almost feels guilty about being able to appreciate such beauty, because we are lucky. We are.
I love nature. And in the last meeting we had in philosophy, I heard Professor Galimberti, that is a very important philosopher. He said that man has not intuition, and animal can live and adapt to nature. Man needs to be educated to live in this world. And he said something that really shocked me, because I thought that man in terms of human being is superior to animals. But he said that animals are more suitable to this world because they adapt easily to this world.
And they respect each other.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I wanted also to say to Marina in the beginning, when she asked me to say something, I said that I agree with her, because women are, I'm sorry to say that for my the part I represent, but women are really superior to men in some.
That's great that you should say so, Antonio. Thank you.